will be, because it is later and obviously September's coming very quickly. But as soon as the decision's made, we can start that profiling work and work with our head teachers to make sure that the right children are in the right provision and their needs are met on the island.
Of course you can.
Some of the comments were about funding and that there was worries that they wouldn't have enough funding to support the needs that were there. So has that been discussed with the schools, that they will get the funding they need?
Yeah, we took a paper to schools forum, and in the process of doing this, we did produce a resource provision guide, which has been shared in draft with all the schools, so they are very clear on the different parameters. We've had some feedback on that as well from head teachers. So we've decided to set up a network starting in September. We have a launch event, so there'll be additional training and support to support the staff in those settings and the schools in terms of how we develop our SEND provision moving forward.
Councillor Jarman.
Just a quick one. Thank you again, Chair. I listened to the debate about SEND funding that was on the radio this morning, and the councillor from the cabinet member, in fact, from Hove, who was lamenting the fact that they only got £1,200 per child, whereas a certain inner London borough got £3,500 per child. You might have listened to the same newscast. It is available online. I wondered what we get as an island. I presume somewhere between 1,200 and 3,500, and hopefully in excess of 3,500. So please surprise me.
Then funding varies depending upon the need, and obviously that is set from schools forum. The other factor that increases our high needs block spend is the costing per pupil, and that is dictated by what's in that child's education and healthcare plan. There are bands within that for our special schools, and we have a primary and a secondary band for our resource provision networks too.
Our average is?
I'm happy to send that to you offline from this. You have that. It is in the public domain, and we'll give you the papers if you would like that, sir.
Thank you. It'd be nice for all to say. Well, I find strange, isn't it, when you do the consultations, there's very few responses to any of the consultations apart from ratings at 107. They were under threat of closure at the time. So it's, consultations always surprise me how, people don't respond. Thank you.
One little point around that, it was really lovely to see that the young people, the children, put in consultation responses at Brading, and actually it was really lovely to read the consultation responses there. So that was a very proactive move by the head teacher of that school.
It's good to Kevin Gayer. Engagement with young children in the process is key. Are there any more questions? Can't hear you. There is. Oh yeah, okay. The recommendation. Are we happy to vote on these en masse, or do you want to vote on the recommendation? I prefer you vote en masse. On block?
Vote on block, yeah.
Okay, so I will read out the recommendations. This committee approves the proposed expansion of places at the following. Expansion of places at Medina House School from 138 to 168. 30 places being provided at a satellite provision located at the former Chillerton and Rookley School site. Expansion of the resource provision at Honey Hill from 8 places to 12 places for children for social, emotional, mental health. Expansion of the resource provision at Brading CE Primary School from 8 places to 12 places for children with autism spectrum and complex learning. Expansion of the resource provision at the Bay CE Primary School secondary site with 15 places to 20 places for children with autism spectrum. Expansion of the Lionheart School from 60 places to 120 places, 60 places for children with complex high anxiety mental needs. Non-EHCP Section 19 children being provided at Cowes Primary School site, subject to the closure on the 31st of August 2025. Expansion of St George's School from 208 places to 228 places. The 20 places will be provided at the satellite site located in East Cowes. The creation of 12 new place primary resource provision at Brighton CE Primary School, children with autism spectrum and or speech and language communication needs. They are the proposals. I recommend them on block, propose them on block. I have a seconder for that, Councillor Andre. All those in favour? Unanimously agreed. And again, thank you for the consultation, analysing the consultation and increasing provision in a really key area that the Isle of Wight needs. So thank you very much for that. So move on to item 7, the committee work plan, pages 183 to 186. It's interesting. I've actually had a conversation with the leader of the council regarding things that cross over various committees and things that may fall through the network. And I believe that's going to, I know Councillor Mosler's got the same issues with adult social care. So the plan is to make sure that any, all areas are covered. It's new to all of us. So our work plan covers specific work that we have to do, may be added to or join with other committees as we move forward. So you'll see for August, we are meeting in August. We discussed not meeting in August, but we are meeting in August because KAB busy because we're going to bring forward the adoption report, fostering report, complaints report, and we may. One add to that.
I think for the August meeting, and my apologies, I'll be on annual leave. I won't be here, but I will be thinking of you. The complaints report and the service performance report won't be ready. So it'll only be the adoption annual report and the fostering annual report.
Are we able perhaps to move the corporate parenting strategy report forward to August? Because I'd like the October committee to focus more on the piece of work we've asked officers to do. So
that won't be possible. There isn't enough time between now and then to get that into the right standard to bring it to committee.
So for October, therefore, we would have the report we've asked you to bring back, corporate parenting strategy for October, and the complaints and service performance for October as well. So whilst all the August committee might be slightly lighter, the October one will be.
Yeah. I mean, unless we want to move, for example, what I can say to committee is that we learn from complaints on a regular basis. So we have a system to do that. So if you wanted to push the complaints report further down, it won't impact the work that we're doing because we monitor those on a regular basis and learn from it. So if the agenda is too congested for October.
Perhaps it's something that yourself, Vice Chair and myself can talk about when we do the agenda setting meeting for the next. Yeah, okay. Are members happy in principle to support the work plan subject to there'll be a regular meeting between myself, Councillor Lilly and Mr. Whittaker about the agenda setting for each meeting. So if we can juggle it, we will do. But the key thing is we allow enough time in October to discuss what we talked about earlier in detail around how we address this problem. So we're happy to the work plan? Yeah. Okay. So after 8 minutes extra, that's not too bad, is it? Can I just say thank you really to officers, councillors, all staff actually. It's been a longer meeting than I planned. And can I thank Mrs. Hughes? Thank you for sitting through all the meeting, much appreciated. But this is our first meeting. There's lots of good points come out about how we can do things differently regarding reports. But I think the general message is we've got decisions to make, and noting is making a decision to note is a decision. Not all decisions can be completely black and white because progress, you can't measure black and white progress. But I think we have made a lot of progress tonight. We can develop our strategy working together because it's only our first meeting. So thank you all for your time this evening. And I think we'll just close the meeting. Thank you. 8 minutes, that's not too bad.